Did you know that in House of the Dragon, there might be a copy of an incredibly important lost text that is hiding in plain sight? You see, in the plot of the main book series, A Song of Ice and Fire, a book written by Septon Barth called Dragons, Worms, and Wyverns, Their Unnatural History, has been mentioned several times. In fact, with a total of 9 unique mentions, it is one of the most commonly referenced books in the series. Now, the book itself is believed to contain all kinds of important and useful information relating to dragons, such as how they can be killed, how they reproduce, where their origins may come from, information on the doom of Valyria, and even the Children of the Forest's control over ravens. Maester Anson also suggests that within the pages are esoteric metaphors alluding to the higher mysteries and magic. Suffice it to say, this book is loaded with information that might be useful to our characters, and may provide answers to mysteries within our series. Tragically, much of the knowledge and information within this book was destroyed 130 years before the events of A Game of Thrones, as all of Barth's writings were deemed heretical during the reign of King Baelor the Blessed, and to this day only fragments remain. According to the World Book, destroying knowledge is a painful thing. That Baelor had the testimony of Mushroom burned is of no great surprise, given its ribald and scandalous content, but Septon Barth's Unnatural History, however mistaken some of its proposals, was the work of one of the brightest minds in the 7 kingdoms. Barth's study and alleged practice of the higher arts proved enough to win Baelor's enmity and the destruction of his work, even though Unnatural History contains much that is neither controversial nor wicked. It is only fortunate that fragments have survived so that the lore within was not wholly lost. And the biggest travesty is that throughout Martin's series, there are varying accounts of what happened in history, or how certain magical aspects in his world work. It's basically the writer's way of adding ambiguity and confusion in order to let the reader speculate on the truth of the matter from different sources, rather than directly giving them the answer.
This is how Septon Eustace said it went. This is how Grandmaster Orwyle said it went, and this is how Mushroom said it went. And you pick which one, because we don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Archmaester Gildane doesn't know, and we don't know. You don't know, really, the truth.
However, from what we do know from Barth's writings, is that despite what the Maesters of the Citadel may argue, so far, all of Barth's conclusions have been correct, making him the most reliable source when it comes to the mysteries of magic and dragons in his world. And this is where it gets interesting. You see, in the timeline of House of the Dragon, Unnatural History hasn't yet been destroyed, and a copy should be present in the Red Keep. And in George R. R. Martin's original writings, Alys Hightower is older than Rhaenyra, and was the one who took care of King Jaehaerys in his old age. As the old king's strength and wits began to fail, he was oft confined to his bed. Sir Otto's precocious 15-year-old daughter, Alicent, became his constant companion, fetching his grace his meals, reading to him, helping him to bathe and dress himself. The old king sometimes mistook her for one of his daughters, calling her by their names. Near the end, he grew certain she was his daughter Sarah, returned to him from beyond the narrow sea. In the year 103 AC, King Jaehaerys Targaryen died in his bed, as Lady Alicent was reading to him from Septon Barth's Unnatural History. Now, House of the Dragon retconned Alicent's age to make her closer in age to Rhaenyra, which was a good choice for the show writers to further develop the relationship between the two characters. So because of this, instead of Alicent reading to King Jaehaerys, in the show, Alicent comes to King Viserys in mourning to read to him. And since Unnatural History hasn't yet been destroyed, and was the book Alicent read to King Jaehaerys, it's possible we have gotten a glimpse of the long-lost and sought-after book, as the book Alicent is holding is noticeably thicker and larger than the one read in the Godswood in the beginning of the episode. And one thing that should also be noted is that House of the Dragon made another change from canon. From what we gather from the show, Viserys was very interested in the ancient lore of Old Valyria and dragons.
It's an integral part of our story, which is, although Viserys is very much a progressive Targaryen, he yearns for the Valyria of old, looking in some way to understand something that he can never quite grasp.
So if Alicent was going to pick a book to bring to King Viserys to read to him, Unnatural History would probably be a good one.
It's a favorite of mine. I do know how passionate you are for the histories.
Yes.
So it's possible we may have already had a glimpse of Unnatural History already. And if this is the case, it could be a game changer, providing some intriguing revelations, or have some part to play in the dance to come, as each side will be using every advantage they can possibly get in their race for the Iron Throne. That about wraps things up for today. If you like this video, please be sure to like and leave a comment. It really does help. Links to everything discussed can be found in the description box below. And if you're interested in supporting my channel memberships are available, and members get the chance to watch my content before everyone else. And for those who are already members, thank you so much for your support.